now, on the bottom of page Chav Zayin, he finished in the middle of explaining that the way the spheres are kolol l'mayla and the oyer kolol, but musar in ein koyach hapoel, the poel shebekoyach, that these spheres that in a state of poel shebekoyach are shaloi be'erech l'gabe the spheres the way they are in the real world of poel, in poel mamash. So the last concept, the last idea we learned was that since the poel bekoyach is a result of shleimus ha'atzmos, not a result, not because that's the beginning of the process, but because it's part of shleimus ha'atzmos. And atzmos, it's lezer yikolikus. It's not something specific, defined that has spheres. He can do anything. One of the unlimited things he can do is also do spheres. So Mele, from that he derived that these spheres are really an expression of the infinity. Mele is a mufshat l'gamra. They're abstract. They're not. The poel shebekoyach is shalei be'erech. Hashem and the poel mamash, and the way spheres are in Atzilus, that's something tangible. So now that's the last thing he said. That the shleimus ha'atzmos is the union of poel, but it's shalei be'erech. But derech klal, 4 lines from the bottom of the page Chav Zayin, derech klal is gimel sibos in the poel spheres bekoyach. We just summarize it. The 3 ways, the 3 causes that cause the spheres being in the state of koyach, the poel shebekoyach. That's 3 madrigas really. Aleph, the lowest madriga is mitzad the poel shebekoyach amizgal, and the bekoyach is rotzen shebei. This is the lowest madriga. It's ein koyach hapoel, but that's when there's already a liyas rotzen, like what earlier from Shara Tzachas and Pardes, that the Eibishter wants to kaviyachol. He's already in a state of rotzen to be matzah spheres, and because ein koyach hapoel, so the rotzen automatically creates them. So that's the law madriga ein koyach hapoel. For a base, now he said something, an intermediate state. I don't know what it is. It's like, I'm not sure. Basically, the concept that ein koyach hapoel, that koyach l'maylo is be'etzem something that doesn't lack poel. Even before he wants to do it, before Alois Rotzen, but the koyach is anything that's bekoyach already automatically includes poel. Lavatmenes atzmos. It's not madrig of atzmos. Atzmos she'ein shach sham lekach lepoel. Madrig and atzmos, even the definition of koyach and poel is not shared. V'yesh sham akapes v'tias nimtza. So in atzmos everything exists in a way of looking tias nimtza. But now we're not talking. We're talking in the oyer gufha. There is the madriga that koyach ein hapoel. Like I said, the second madriga is oyer shekoydem liyas rotzen. So in the oyer shekoydem liyas rotzen, there's because it's infinite, it doesn't have any limitation, it doesn't have any agbola. So the koyach is also hapoel, ein hapoel. Then there's the highest madriga of ein koyach hapoel, mas shleimus ha'atzmos machich in poel spheres bekoyach. Shezeh be'etzem man michin zgil legam. So basically, it really brings in a new, not mamish new, but in this Amshach, he didn't bring it yet. There in other places in Chassidus, there's a long arichas about the 3 madrigas and the oyer shelifnei tzimtzum. There's a few ways to describe it, but one of the common ways is there's the ispash, they call ispashtus oyer. There's the lowest madriga, then there's gili la'atzmai, and then there's etzem oyer. It's one of the ways to describe these three stages in the Eresh and the Etzem Eresh if not Tzimtzum. The last madrega is already la'achar le'sarotz. It's called this pashta sayur. There is expressed and expanded and extended. The one above it is also gilul, but it's not gilul as the lost, the gilul la'atzma. It's kaidem le'sarotz. It's above the state where he wants to le'sarotz livre means to relate outside of himself, kaviyochu. And it's called this pashtus. He's expressing himself outside of himself. The other madriga, what we call the intermediate madriga, is called gili la'atzmai. It's gili la'atzmai. I mean, the dogma is that sometimes we bring the medrash Omo dal kom beinel v'natzmai. It's already Omo, like remember we had a mashal divo shebamachshav. In other words, it's not a pure machshava. It's not pure by itself. It's already but la'atzmai. So that's sort of mashal and the concept of gilui la'atzmai. The highest madrega is called etzem ha'or. It's just the essence of the concept of gilui. So in our Maimon, he brings these three. In these three madrigas and ha'or, you have the koach ein koach hasapel each of them. Each one of them, we say there's a koyach and there's a koyach of a spheres, and the koyach of the koyach ein hasapel. But each one expresses it in a different way. So Gimel, the way it's in the etzem ha'or, so basically, in that level of etzem ha'or, which is above any gilul, even the gilul la'atzmai, there is also spheres, and the spheres are also in the way of ein koach hasapel. So what we said now that the Maila ein koach hasapel, the spheres within the koach, and then that koach, the three madrigas, the way that gilul is the lost, la'achar le'sarotz, gilul la'atzmai, and the etzem ha'or. And each of them has that madriga of spheres in the way in koach hasapel. Chol eila madrigas hapoel v'er hakoach. In each of these three levels in the earth, the poel is so mufshat, because that's the study we were talking about. Remember, the whole point of this, the whole hamshah of the discussion now is really to explain how the poel shebekoyach is the fi'er hakoyach mele is mufshat from poel mamash. They said, "Chol elam madrigas hakoyach hapoel fi'er hakoyach." The chol is pshitus. Be'etzem ha'or is pshitus mamash. In any of the three, it's in a state of pshitus. It's abstract, and the madriga of etzem ha'or, which is an expression of shleim satzim, is pshitus mamash. Okay, so that was at the higher position. So now he's taking us back to the paradox that he quoted on page Tezayin. Let's go to page Tezayin, see what was the Lashon there. In the Lashon, it said that the Machshavos and Machshavos Teichem, that the Eibush is different. The Eibush's Machshav is not like our Machshav. Kashod, even Adam Mesich Lelav says in Mitzir, Shiur. When the person imagines in his mind and his thought that he wants to do something, to create something, the thought himself doesn't have any effect. And it's like nothing happened until he actually executes the machshava, until he brings it into action. Okay, we'll read the whole thing. So the koyach misses the poil in our experience. We have it machshava, and then there's the action. So the machshava misses the action. The aim came for Loisa Rabbi Yosef Shemelach Ma'amach Makadosh Baruch Hu. Checking the Eibush is different. Because all of it saying the lab is last until Takadosh Baruch Hu. Noaz Nesam is all about Tzvot Machine Chas V'Shalom. So right when he warns, when there's machshava, there's also action. But then he adds the last line of the passage. What's important to our discussion now. Elo, what is kind of mitzias is it? It's not any missing b'shinui. Elo, but mitzias misyachadimai. This mitzias that's in machshava is united to them. Actually, when I'm maximum mitzias to every cloud. There's no can't see a difference between the Eberstein and that poil cloud. And mitzias mis hova heim akal davar echad at kan dvolov. That's what it said on page 2. Now it's taking us back to that lashon of the parts. וזהו שכל זה עבד לשעת הצחת שמציאס מזיחד עד שאין בין המצב והנצר הבדל כלל. So that's explained according to what we just said, that in that stage, the way it's in that stage, it's in tachlis apshitus. Mele ein בין המצב והנצר הבדל כלל. It's such a high state of afshot that there's not difference in the oil and the spheres. Shaseda Atzilis, then there's another lesson also about earlier, the part of Shaseda Atzilis also says, that in that level, the way the spheres are in that level of Machshava and Koyach, Poel Shebekoyach, you can't even call it Mitzias spheres. There's totally in divine, there's a spheres like notice, Imi Yesh Yesh, and then Shakoyach Yesh Prince of Poels, and these Madrig of spheres, the way it is Kolol, in the Kolol, so there's takas spheres. Kolol and Prince Pshitas Mamsh. That explained the parables. Chagav says another Chatzigul, another parenthesis, Mach Kozma Kamacha Shem Etzias Legnuzis. So here we just said that there is SS spheres Agnuzis over there. There are 2 spheres, there are 10 spheres. Was okay, but so there is a problem. There's an expression in another. I don't know where in Kabbalah, maybe in Pardes, maybe in Mitzrayim. I don't know. It's a lashon she'ein mitzias legnuzis. Not only are the miyuchad ein mitzias, not a mitzias. That's even a higher madrega. So ich leima da mitzias ein in madrega she'ein shaykh legrechol. Upon there's another, all the 3 madrigas we've spoken, the spheres are Lamaila, that's all in the earth. So then there's SS spheres agnosis, but what they're in a pure state of Shitus Mamish. But in the end time, there's a Metzias. But the Lashon, what it says in other places, She'ein Metzias Agnosis, that relates to even a higher madriga, the way it's calling it Chaylis. She's in above the Etzema. That's a sugi with Natsma. I'm not going to get into this now. Now, according to everything we discussed in this Maimah, even much puzzle, so I'm going to go back to answer the question that we asked in the beginning of the Maimah in the puzzle. It talks about the mitzvah of doubt meaning. So yes, remember the main question was that we see a contradiction. On one hand, we say that the doubt meaning of they express ardus, which is bligvul. Ardus, each of them expresses total unity and non-change. At the same time, it says in Kabbalah, each of the meaning represents a different sphere. Esrog is Malchus, or is Yisoid. So he has the question, how do I reconcile the 2? So now he's going to go back. The Ine, so that's the answer. The Dalet meaning of Shosham who the reason we find Achdus in the 4 kinds, in the 4 meaning of Lulav, it's really the expression of the pure Achdus of the Tzimtzum Shefnei Tzimtzum, Shulman Mishtashel, the Kol Batmus. So that is what's expressed. The Achdus of the Tzimtzum Shefnei Tzimtzum is expressed at the meaning of Shulul. It generally means that the shirish of the sphere of the Darwin is in the level of Seviv Kalam, which is above Mischalkus, or this is the concept of the Ach. In the Kirch what is the mitzvah? The Darwin exists all the time, but before we know about it, before we touch them. What is the mitzvah of Velakachtem Lachem? What is the Kirch? Yadua, the point of the lekicha is you take this market, this artist shoot and the lulav in the four minim and you bring it down to pnimis. Lachein, that's why it says in the Alter Rebbe Siddur. Lachein mitzvah na mufashin. It says it's a word from Kabbalah. Mitzvah na mufashin tiras alulav b'sukkah daf. That's why it's a mitzvah that the tiras alulav should be in a sukkah. The liyos the schach sukkah zeh from samak shem shadeh from Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. The schach of the sukkah represent the madrega of Makev and Seiv that is nimshach Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, like it says in the Rebbe brings a lot of places in the Memorim that schach is gematria 100, so that's the Meir Koilos from Rosh Hashanah, and the schach is also the Onan. Kibasuk is a chapter that's the Ananim, so that's the Onan Akteris of Yom Kippur. So the Gilui of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur and Nimshach it put in the schach of the sukkah. And what is it? It's a level of makif, just like the schach surrounds us. Just you remember tshuva in the Ma'amar before. He spoke about that tshuva. The original thing from tshuva is the highest level of makif. And what do? We go on his violin, like we learned earlier, like I said, the tshuva ma'era ma'ashav nisat v'ensof. That is the highest madrega in what happens Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. Now, Shagila Azeo Besukis, which goes to the Kesem Chagim, which goes to the Kamach. So the way it's in this Rosh Hashanah Kippur, we reach the highest madrega of what he calls now Pnim Mitzatz Terensof, or they call it the Rasevim. We reach a very high madrega of Maki, and that, but it stays hidden. When it is Misgale, that's Sukkos. Why? Because it's Marumas in the Pasuk, Bakes Aleim Chagim. Chag, the Chag in Torah, Chazal, Chag Stam is Chag HaSukkos. And Bakesa means it's hidden. Kesa is hidden, like the Kisui. So the everything that's the Kisui, Behelem, in Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, it's Misgale, Yom Chagim, Sukkos. Actually, the Sukkos is market, but in the Sukkah itself, it's in a state of market. It surrounds us. It doesn't. We can't eternalize it because this just like we see in the actual sukkah. This when we sit in the sukkah surrounds us. It's something to smack. The lulav nimshach. So what is the function of the lulav? We take the lulav in the sukkah. It says biftem mitzvim namuch likach shentilas lulav sukkah. So the ultimate purpose, the ultimate idea of the lulav is taking the makif of the sukkah and we mamshach b'pnimis, like that we do in the Nanuim. We move it to our house. That's another place to explain. This is the concept of amshachas hamakif b'pnim. V'zeh lekachtem lochem. That's what was lochem. Lochem means to you, within you. Shenimshach sher b'pnimis. Very b'chinas ardos. So this is the concept that we take the lulav, which is prinas ardos, and we mamshach it b'pnim. Now, and I have told this introduction. It goes back to answer the question, like I said, the question the answer in the beginning of the mime. But it's not a sphere that the four meaning represent spheres parties, individual spheres. As like it's Malchus, with the side, what it said with the however and Adasim also present Chesed. That's right. So what is the pshat? Why is it in the say something? Is Baal Gam spheres. That and this not this now we get the answer for what comes from the Maimah we learned all along. That in the Ein Sof, which is moved to the Gamma, there's also spheres because Ein Kei Chasapoil. The Zerin Bashar Din of the spheres parties. So we say the Alvin was on the sphere Shabbat Ein Sof. So it was just it's quite a chidush that we should know that when we say that we take the Esrek, it's Malchus, it's not Malchus of Hatzilus. It's not Malchus Shachar Tzimtzum. It's Malchus of the way it's called this in the Sof. Truth net Tzimtzum, Hatzilus in Sof. Lachein, if there's Ardos, there's a Spir Shem Gam Pnes Hatzilus of Shittis. So Mela, we have the combination. So this is the now I answer the question that how can it possible that the Dalet meaning are both the spheres that are achdus, because we're talking about the spheres not the way they are in Elam Atzilus or in Elim Atayik Shlachat Tzimtzum. We're talking about the spheres the way they are in the Eira Kol Batzmus in the Achdus Pshuta. So over there's also spheres, but it's a much higher level, more mufshadik level spheres. So, beim Rishon for Yetzer Hara, beim Rishon gemacht for Kesser. I think another point, the word beim Rishon says in Chassidus and Kabbalah that is the gematria Kesser, the numerical value of the Rishon is Kesser. Eine Bechina, so it's a circle, which definitely is a market of that Tshuva. So the word Kesser here is not, doesn't talk about the Madrega of Kesser that Tzilus. Kesser means the highest Madrega in the Makiv. שם שש רבנים שלו לבשם פנס ארדוס, הכוונה בזה לעם שבנס המקיף שבפנים יש בזה לקחתם לכם. So according to our Maimon, they describe very elaborately that the way the spheres, even in the earth, are called Batzmusse, in Etzema, there's also spheres. So this spheres, the way they are in the Dal Minim, are really the Amshach of that highest level in and so, right, next line. Be'em Shmini Atzeres, right? Be'em Shmini Atzeres Lachem. So what does it say in Chumash and Parshas? Where is it in Pinchas?